Welcome to part 7 of my actual play video. My name is Roosevelt Cooper from Golden Acacia Gaming. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate to you how you can use the Mythic Game Master Emulator 2nd edition to play your favorite tabletop role-playing game, either solo or with a group, without needing a Game Master. In this particular video, I'm going to be playing the brand new 2024 Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. And the character that I'm going to be playing is Kashta Napata. He is a male human paladin at level 1. Where we last left off, Kashta and his group of adventurers found a young woman from the village who was kidnapped by the bandits. She was lost and doesn't know where she's at. However, when they tried to take a short rest, they were interrupted by something. Now we will find out what they were interrupted by. So I now need to come up with a new expected scene, and my expected scene is, because they are in a room, something has to get into the room to interrupt their short rest. So I am going to expect that some more zombies start climbing out of the ground, and they're going to have to deal with those zombies. So that is my expected scene. The chaos factor is now 5 because they were not in control in the last scene. They were not able to take their short rest. They were unexpectedly encountered a young woman from the village. So they were not in control of that scene. We're going to roll against the chaos factor to see if the expected scene happens just as I expected. So if we roll a 6 through 10, then the scene happens as I expect. And if we roll a 5 or lower, then the scene does not happen. It's either going to be altered or interrupted in some way, shape, or form. All right, so now let's roll a d10. I got a 3. So a 3 means that the expected scene is not going to happen the way I expected. All right, so a 3 is an odd number, so that means this is going to be an altered scene. So if an altered scene, it means that my expected scene is going to happen. However, it's going to be altered in some way, shape, or form. So if an altered scene, there's a couple of ways we can handle an altered scene. We could say the scene does not happen the way we expect it, and then we can go with whatever we believe our next most expected scene would have been. So for example, let's say in the previous example, we expect it to be interrupted by zombies. We could say no to that, and we get interrupted by something else instead. So maybe we're interrupted by skeletons. Or you can actually tweak the scene. You could have the expected scene happen, but have it slightly different than the way you expect it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say that the scene happens, but instead of the zombies actually coming in from the ground, I'm going to say that they begin banging on the door. So the zombies are banging on the door. So with the zombies banging on the door, now we have to deal with that, because if they bang down this door, we're going to have an issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the adventuring party deal with the zombies. The good thing is they have a door, so they could very easily funnel the zombies in such a way so that they can't get into the room. Kashta would be very likely to stand guard at the door to keep the zombies from getting in, while the other adventurers pelt attacks against the zombies and protect the women. So that's what we're going to do. So with that, we're going to roll for initiative and have our adventurers deal with these zombies. All right, so the first question is, how many zombies are there? Gonna go ahead and roll a d4. Two. It's 2 zombies. So when they open the door, they will see 2 zombies at the door. They are wounded, but 2 should be something that they should be able to deal with. All right, so let's go ahead and roll for initiative. Kashta's gonna roll first. And Kashta rolls an 18. Next, we're gonna have Ada roll. Ada rolls a 12. Next, we're gonna have Jodam roll. Jodam rolls an 8. Next, we're gonna have Merrick roll. Merrick rolls a 3. And next, we're gonna have the zombies roll. The zombies roll a 10. All right, so Kashta's gonna go first, followed by Ada, followed by the zombies, followed by Jodam, and followed by Merrick. So we're gonna have Kashta open the door, and then he is going to, once he sees that it's zombies, he is going to attack the zombies with his longsword. So Kashta opens the door. He sees the 2 zombies. He now attacks with his longsword. He rolls an 11. An 11 is a hit. So he's going to roll for damage. And he does 5 points of damage to the first zombie. All right, next is Ada's turn. Ada is going to cast sleep on the zombies. So with the sleep spell, it can be done on a 5-foot radius sphere. So the zombies should be close enough for her to be able to cast it on both of them. So they're going to have to make a wisdom saving throw. And if they fail, they're going to have the incapacitated condition until the end of their next turn, which means they will not be able to take any action, bonus action, or reaction. All right. So the first zombie and what is the DC? Okay, so the DC is 12. All right, so the first zombie rolls a 6. So that is a fail. Second zombie rolls a 4. So that is a fail. All right, so both zombies are incapacitated. Ada is going to use a spell slot. All right, so that is Ada's turn. So now the zombies go, but the zombies are incapacitated due to the sleep spell. So they are incapacitated until the end of their turn, and now they must repeat the save. All right, so the first zombie is going to make the save, DC 12. And they roll a 14, so they are no longer incapacitated. Second zombie is going to make the save. And they roll a 7. So the second zombie failed to save, so the second zombie is now unconscious. And will be unconscious for the duration of the spell. Which is 1 minute. So the second zombie is going to be unconscious for 10 rounds. All right. Next up is Jodam. Jodam's going to cast Sacred Flame on the first zombie. So that zombie's gonna have to make a dex save, DC 12. It rolls a 2, so it fails. So Jodam is going to do... Jodam's gonna do 1d8 radiant damage. And that's 7 damage. All right. So that is Jodam's turn. Next up is Merrick. Merrick is going to use his short sword to attack the zombie. That is a 12. A 12 is a hit. Zombie's going to take 8 points of piercing damage. That will drop the zombie down to 0 hit points. But the zombie gets to do a Undead Fortitude trait, which allows the zombie to make a Constitution saving throw, which is going to be DC 5 plus the damage taken. The zombie is taking... 8 points of damage. So the DC is going to be DC 13. Zombie rolls an 8. So the zombie is defeated. So the first zombie is down and has been defeated. Second zombie is unconscious. So that is Merrick's go. So Kashta, with his turn, he is going to drag the zombie into the room. So Kashta drags the zombie into the room. And then everybody else's turn, they're going to leave the room and close the door. So with that, I'm going to rule that combat is over, that the heroes have successfully rescued the young woman, have defeated the zombies, and now they're going to try to take a short rest. So short rest, I'm going to rule it is certain that they take a short rest after all this, but we never know. They may not be able to take one. So we're going to roll a D100. They're going to need a 90 to be able to successfully take a short rest. 90 or lower. If they roll higher than a 90, they're not going to take a short rest. All right, so let's roll. And they got a 13. So that is an exceptional yes. So they're definitely going to be able to take a short rest. And I'm going to say an exceptional yes means that not only are they able to take a short rest, but they're not going to experience any attacks for, let's say at the very least, for the next scene. So the next scene we have, they're not going to get attacked by anything. All right, so that's going to conclude this scene. We're going to have them take a short rest. We'll have Kashta, Ada, and Jodam spend a hit die to be able to heal themselves. All right, and that concludes this scene. So the adventurers will be able to take a short rest, and then from there, in the next scene, we'll find out what happens next.